How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to that car vlog channel. If you don't already know, my name is Andy, and this is probably one of the coolest versions of the modern Jeep Wrangler. This, of course, is the Rubicon 392. For the longest time, Jeep has been the name you think of when you think off-road capability. The king of the off-roaders, right? And for a long time, people wanted Jeep to put V8s in these things, but they just never really did it. But then something happened after 2020. Ford released their Bronco. They brought back the Bronco name, and it proved to be a very capable vehicle and possibly even a bit superior to the Jeep Wrangler in many, many ways. So of course, Jeep had to do something, right? So finally, in late 2021, for the 22 model year, they decided to drop the 6.4 liter, the 392 cubic inch V8 into the Wrangler. And so in today's video, I'm going to take you guys all around this 392 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, show you what this thing's all about, show you all of the interesting things that make this thing cooler than your standard Rubicon. Yes, I know this thing has been out for a while. Oh well, better late than never is how we operate on this channel. However, before doing that, I do need to give a special thanks, huge shout out to the folks at West Chevrolet in Alcoa, Tennessee for allowing me to use this 392 Wrangler for today's review. Once you're done watching, check out the description below. You'll find a link to the website where you can check out their inventory. All right. Let's jump into this thing. All right, first talk about the outside of the Wrangler 392. So at first glance, it's just a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Now, of course, Rubicon is the highest level, the most off-road capable version of your Jeep Wrangler. But of course, this is special because it is the 392. Special touches here include these wheels right here. These are 17-inch beadlock capable wheels. Mounted on these wheels from the factory are these 33-inch off-road tires. And check out the tread on these things. These are seriously aggressive. These are gonna get you around. If we focus in here, look at these shocks right here, Fox off-road shocks on these things. Your Wrangler 392 actually gets a 2-inch lift over your standard Jeep Rubicon. As we continue around the front here, look at the front grille treatment, the headlights. It looks, again, the same as pretty much every other Wrangler Rubicon. 7-slot grille, very iconic Jeep design. You got your front-facing camera right here with a little washer underneath it, so if you get sturdy on the trail, you can clean that. I love the little pass-through holes in the bumper. I don't know why, I just like the way that looks. You got your fog lights down here. And your tow hooks here are in bronze. And you're gonna see that bronze is kind of the Wrangler 392 color, if you will. In addition to your bronze tow hooks, you're gonna see your 392 badge up here on the hood. It is rimmed in bronze. So is the Rubicon decals here on the side of the hood, your Jeep badge down here on the fender. Your wheels are even somewhat of a bronze color themselves. Right here on the driver's side fender, your trail rated 4x4 badge, also in bronze. Here on the back, your recovery hook on the back, it is also bronze. So that's the color that Jeep chose as pretty much the theme color for your Rubicon 392. No matter what color the car is in, those accents are going to be in bronze. Your bronze themed accents actually continue onto the interior. You'll see this stitching on the armrest on your door panel. That's going to be in that bronze color. Making our way in here, look at the stitching on the steering wheel, also a bronzish gold colored stitching. You got up here on the top of the dash, same thing, you got that stitching. Turn around, look at the seat back. You got your Rubicon 392 stitched into the seat back there, also in that bronze color. More of it here on the center console cover, here on your shifter boot and your four-wheel drive selector boot. While we're looking at our four-wheel drive selector lever, look up here at the top. You're going to notice something particular. Your Rubicon 392 does not have a two-wheel drive mode. It is always in four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, depending on how this is selected. I'm assuming they did that because with this much power and off-road tires, you got to get the power actually to the ground and not just spin. While we're in this area, check it out. This being a Rubicon, it does get all the great off-road features such as your front and rear locking differentials, sway bar disconnect. You get the auxiliary switches right here so you can wire in lights, winches, whatever you may have. Here's some media controls, your aux in, your USB A and C stuff right there, and your 12-volt round port right here. Not exactly off-road bits, but they're nice to have, and they're right there. As well as your window controls and your window lockout located right here in the center, because of course the doors are removable. Coming up from that, full array of physical climate controls. I love to see that there. Most of this is your typical stuff out of the Wrangler, your climate controls. And if your controls in the bottom, like your screen off, your off-road cruise control, that kind of thing. Traction control off, but right here is a special one that we will activate later. This is for the sports exhaust. I don't think I need to tell you what that's about. Coming over here to the right, I love the big, tough grab handle right here, so whoever's riding with you doesn't get thrown around completely. And I like down here where they put the speakers in the dash. I'm pretty sure Jeep's been doing this forever, but I do like they give you the speakers in the dash so you can still take the doors off. Very nice. These are part of the 9-speaker Alpine system in this car, and we were playing with this thing on the way to the filming spot, and it sounds nice. Look at the gauges now. We're going to start the Jeep up, and I want you to focus on the very bottom of the center screen. Start it. Look at the animation. You get that little Jeep that drives across to the bottom of the screen. It's a cool little digital Easter egg. While we're here looking at the center screen, I'll show you what it displays. This is pretty much the same in most Jeep Wranglers, but just real quick, of course, here's your speed gauge. You get some vehicle info such as your oil life, here's your battery voltage, your tire pressure monitoring system, coolant temp, trans temp, oil pressure, oil life. Once again, click down from that. Here's your off-road status. You got your steering angle right there and your pitch and roll measurements right here. Keep going down, driver assist, fuel economy, we really don't need to look at that. Of course, trip odometers, audio, any stored messages, screen setup, and back to the top. Looking at your center infotainment screen, now this is not the most updated screen. They have updated this since this one came out. In 2026, they are running Uconnect 5. However, just a couple things in here that I wanted to show you. Of course, your heated seat controls, nothing special to see there. Biggest thing right here is your off-road modes. We're gonna let those load up. Here's things you're gonna find in your off-road page. Of course, a better display of your pitch and roll. Up here, you got your drivetrain information showing your steering angle, if your sway bar's connected or disconnected, front and rear diff lockers on or off. Of course, you got your transfer case mode right here. Go into accessory gauges. Pull these up, you'll be able to see all these figures in real time, all the time, coolant temp, battery voltage, that kind of thing. And then down here, go down to trail cam, and that's gonna be your front-facing camera. It's got trajectory lines. You can see they turn as the wheels turn. And this is where you're gonna go if you want to clean the front camera. It's also going to clean the rear glass when you do that, but regardless, that's where you want to go if you get dirt on the camera. You can also click up here. This is where you're going to click if you want to see your rear view camera at all times. Same camera is going to be used when you're reversing. One thing I love that Jeep does in these Wranglers is this crossbar above your head, right between the first and second rows of the car, where it's got these speakers mounted right above your head. It's got all the interior lights right here. I don't know why, but I really like the way that looks, and I like that you have the speakers right there over your head. Also, this example has the removable hard tops. They're really easy to work. You use a latch here, there, and there. 1, 2, 3, and this panel lifts right out of place. Now to take everything off behind that, you can see it is one big hard top panel. You do need the special toolkit that Jeep includes. I assume you probably could use your own tools. So we're not gonna be taking that off today because I don't have anywhere to set that. Now some of these, it still has the hard frame on top of the retractable soft top. I think that's really cool, but this one just has removable hard panels, which is still a pretty cool option. I think I'm definitely gonna wanna take those off for the drive. Just more Jeepy that way. Back seat room is just like any basic Wrangler. This guy here is 5'8" apparently. So that's what he looks like sitting back here. So if you're 6 foot or more, just expect to not be comfortable back here, but just Wrangler things. You do get cup holders back here though. Interesting that the entire center seat folds down, not just the center of it. And your cup holders are in the headrest. I don't think I've seen that before. All right, and checking out the cargo area. Once again, this is just basically a Jeep Wrangler. Nothing special about the cargo area back here, although you have that nice Alpine sub back here, part of that 9-speaker system. Like I said before, it sounds nice. You have 12-volt round charger port back here, and you see these bolts right here. Those are the hold down bolts, which we're going to take out to remove the big hard top. You got your plug right here. You're going to disconnect for that. Like I said, we're not going to take that off though, because A, I don't think the previous owner included the tools, and B, I ain't got nowhere to put it. I do like that Jeep painted the upright bars here for when the top is off. It's still body color, so if it's blue or something, it's going to be blue here. It's really cool. Lift up on our floor down here, not a lot to see, a little bit of storage down there, and underneath all this is where you keep your jack. I do like they provide these little slots right here for you to put the bolts from your door hinges, and over here the bolts for your roof. Really cool place to actually store the bolts so you don't lose them. All right, time to open the hood and look at the power plant, but before I do that, I want you to look at this hood scoop right here. This is an actual functional hood scoop to bring air into the engine. This is your intake, but Jeep gave this thing an interesting design because they figure you're going to be taking this thing through water, right? And you could possibly even be doing it at high speed. So this is your intake, Jeep Hydro Guide. They actually have that stamped into the plastic right here. And it's an interesting design that apparently separates water. From what I saw in my research, up to 15 gallons of water per minute will separate it out and force it out of these flaps over here and over there. And your air is separated and sent here into your intake. So even if you're off-road, you're going through water, it splashes up over the hood, you don't have any risk of getting water in your intake and hydrolocking your engine. So that is super cool. Now, the engine itself. This is your 6.4 liter or 392 cubic inch naturally aspirated V8. Same thing you're going to find in things such as the Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. Slightly detuned, and I do mean ever so slightly. 470 horsepower versus 475 in the Scat Pack Challenger. 470 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in this Wrangler Rubicon, right around the low 4-second range. So this thing is quick. And as you can imagine, an engine like this is going to make some really, really nice noises. All right, y'all, let's go do it for the tour of the Wrangler Rubicon 392. Now let's get this crazy beast on the road, see what she's like to drive. All right, let's drive the 392 Wrangler. You get out here on the highway. God, that thing sounds amazing. Oh my God, that is a crazy thing to hear coming out of a Jeep Wrangler. Even though it's been out a few years, and I know it's been out a few years, it's still a crazy thing to hear coming out of a Wrangler. That's wild. So first off, what's it like just to be in the car? Well, it's a Wrangler. So if you've been in a Jeep Wrangler, this is pretty much what it's going to been like. Now, I've not driven Jeep Wranglers, but I've driven a Gladiator, and it's pretty much the same thing. It drives like an off-road vehicle. It's got nice off-road suspension, although you're going to feel everything in the road. These tires, they're not too noisy. At least I'm trying to determine that while battling wind noise. But how it drives is, you know, like an off-road truckish vehicle. The steering is not precise whatsoever. It's responsive, but it's not precise. It drives like a truck. There's body roll. It's an off-road vehicle, so don't expect any like performance handling. The performance out of this thing is on the trails and obviously in a straight line when you just lay onto that throttle. God, that is so wild. Visibility is a Wrangler. You got that small rectangular windshield in front of you. You can see just fine. The rear window's decent, but a lot of it's blocked by rear headrests and that big, you know, matching spare tire on the rear. Now, a couple of things I didn't mention on the exterior that you get as part of your 392 over the normal Jeep is, one, a strengthened frame. They've decided to reinforce the frame of the truck because A, you're sending a lot more torque through this thing. You don't want to twist it, and two, you want it to be a little bit more capable off-road. You're probably going to be hitting obstacles at a bit higher speeds with this kind of power. So, you know, you don't want to mess anything up, especially frame-wise, if you get yourself into a crappy situation. The other thing they gave this thing was upgraded brakes, because you're putting a lot of power down. You got speed, you also need stopping power. And this thing has decent stopping power. It's not sports car Brembo brake power, but it's pretty decent. Top speed on your Rubicon 392 is apparently right around 112 miles an hour. They didn't want to let it go any faster than that because of it being on these big, meaty off-road tires. I'd say a lot of your big, meaty off-road tires probably aren't rated for very high speeds. Now, like I said earlier, Jeep released this thing in the late 2021 for the 22 model year, because before they said they were going to create the 392 Wrangler, Ford had brought back the Bronco. And I know everybody knows the Bronco. It's an old classic off-road name from Ford. They brought it back for the modern era in 2020, 2021, something like that. And they baked a lot more capability into that thing. Of course, they gave it the same, you know, factory lift, factory off-road tires, different levels of Bronco. You had the base model I can get with this thing with just regular street tires, or you could get, you know, the crazy off-road one with big tires, the Sasquatch package. And not to mention, they also gave it a lot of electronic capabilities, trail turn assist, all kinds of really nice off-road features baked into that thing. They also mounted the mirrors on the cowl, so when you take the doors off, you still have mirrors. They did a lot of things right on that Bronco that Jeep never does. And of course, I think it goes without saying that once that thing dropped, the folks at Jeep realized they're going to face some stiff competition, because that Bronco is a crazy cool machine. And it got even crazier and cooler when they brought out the Bronco Raptor, which I've driven the Bronco Raptor, and it is absolutely wild. Factory 37s on a Ford Bronco. So Jeep had to do something. They finally put a factory V8 in the Wrangler. Now, back in 2022, your 392 Rubicon started right around $80,000. That is a lot of money for a Jeep. Now, you could take a standard Wrangler, you could take it to an aftermarket company, have it swapped with a V8 engine, and probably spend less money, but then are you going to get a warranty on the whole car? You get an actual factory warranty from Jeep buying one of these. Now, 2025 was the last call for the Rubicon 392. But believe it or not, Jeep does still make a 392 Wrangler. However, now they're not putting the 392 in the Rubicon version of the Wrangler, they're putting it in the Moab. So last year, 2025, your last call Rubicon 392s were definitely a bit more expensive than they were when they were first released. $95,000 to $100,000 starting price for a 392 Rubicon. Now in 2026, you can get the Moab, and it's got a starting price around $80,000. They also decided to make the 392 V8 available in the Willys level of the Jeep Wrangler. That one's going to be a bit less. It's going to start at $72,000. But just what a wild vehicle this thing is. Now, you would have never thought before 2021 that Jeep would ever put a V8 in the Wrangler from the factory. Now, one thing Jeep has definitely not yet chosen to do factory is a Hellcat version of this. Instead of just this naturally aspirated 6.4, putting a supercharger on top of it, like in the Hellcat Charger and Challenger. I don't know if maybe they thought that would be too insane. It would be truly insane, although there are companies out there that will supercharge these things. If you got the money, they'll do it. And I can only imagine 600-700 horsepower in a Jeep Wrangler. It'd be so wild. Now, your 392 versions of the Wrangler are only available in this 4-door configuration. Jeep never offered it in the 2-door, and I don't know if they ever will. I don't know if, once again, they thought that would be a little too insane, but there is a company out there that didn't think it would be too insane to offer a V8 version of the short version of their off-road vehicle. That, of course, is the short wheelbase Land Rover Defender 90, the one that has the V8 in it. That thing is crazy. It's so small, and yet it's got this big V8 under the hood. I don't know. I think Jeep should have at least considered it. Also, you're not getting a manual option in your 392. A lot of other Wranglers and Gladiators both are offered with a 6-speed manual. You're only getting the 8-speed automatic and the all-time all-wheel or 4-wheel drive system in this thing. So yeah, this thing is wild. You get the Jeep Wrangler with all the classic Jeep capabilities, except they've lifted it up a bit more. You've got the Rubicon touches with the front and rear lockers, the sway bar disconnect, and the bigger, meatier tires. This thing is definitely going to be a serious off-road machine. And I imagine that V8 will probably offer you the ability to maybe overcome some obstacles that maybe the V6 just couldn't handle. So that could definitely be a plus. But I think the craziest thing about this is just God, this thing is fast. This is a fast brick of a vehicle. And hey, Jeep people already like to drive fast. Really, all of my experience driving back and forth on the interstate every day has proven that to me. So here's something they can drive even faster in. I don't know, what does our cameraman think? Have you ridden in a Jeep before? You have? But nothing like this. No, nothing. Nope. Oh no, would you rock a V8 Wrangler? He's not even licensed yet. This thing is just crazy. All right, I don't know what else there's to say about this thing. All I really know to do is just keep making pulls in it and burning more gas, and this thing burns through gas very quickly. But all right, I guess that's all there is to say about this thing. Let's get back and wrap this thing up. I might have to make a couple of pulls first, but we'll see you guys here for the end of the video. All right, y'all, so there you have it. That's gonna do it for the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. This thing is wild. It's got all the things you already love about the Jeep Wrangler, and then something else to love under the hood, that massive, powerful 6.4 liter V8. 470 horsepower in a Jeep Wrangler is just wild. And think of the tunability and supercharging options you have with this thing. You can get even more power out of it. That's just crazy. So if you've wondered about this thing, you want to know what it's like, and if you possibly want to have one, then I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Just do keep in mind, if you get one of these, it's about smiles per gallon, not miles per gallon, all right? Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, you know what you need to do. Go back to the channel, watch the rest of the videos, and if you like what you see, consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, huge special thanks to folks at West Chevrolet here in Alcona, Tennessee, for allowing me to use this magnificent beast of a Jeep for today's video. Once you're done watching here, make sure you check the description below for a link to their website where you can check out their awesome inventory. And should you buy anything, let them know Andy sent you. Anyways, y'all, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.